Cardiovascular system, anatomy and physiology. The heart. The heart is a conical hollow muscular organ situated in the mediastinum and is enclosed within the pericardium. The heart is found in the mediastinum of the lungs, on the top of the diaphragm, behind the sternum, in front of the thoracic vertebra, and it's protected by the ribs. 1/3 is situated on the right side and the 2/3 of the heart is situated in the left of the midline. The average weight of the human heart varies based on the factors like sex and body size. The male heart is 280 to 314 grams. The female heart is 230 to 280 grams in weight. Normally, the heart pumps 7,200 liters of blood in a day throughout the body. Now, let's study about the layers of the heart. The heart wall is composed of 3 main layers, each with a specific function. The outermost layer is called as the epicardium. Here you all can see the epicardium. It is a thin layer which is made out of the connective tissues and the fat. The function of the epicardium is to reduce the friction between the heart and surrounding structures. It contains the coronary blood vessels which supply the oxygen to the heart muscles. The epicardium forms a part of the pericardium also. Here you can see the fibrous pericardium. The pericardium means it is a protective sac which is around the heart. Now the myocardium. Myocardium is the middle layer. It's a thick muscular layer which is made up of the cardiac muscles. Myocardium is specialized with involuntary muscle fibers that contract the heart rhythmically, which is rich with the mitochondria for continuous energy production. It is responsible for the heart's contraction as well as for the pumping of the blood. Now, the innermost layer, here you all can see, that is the endocardium. Endocardium is the thin, smooth layer which is lining the inner chambers of the heart. It is made out of the epithelial cells and connective tissues. It provides a smooth surface for the blood flow by reducing the turbulence. Now let's study about the anatomy and the physiology of the heart. The heart is consisting of 4 chambers. There are 2 upper chambers and there are 2 lower chambers. In the right side, upper chamber is called as the right atrium and the right side lower chamber is called as the right ventricle. The left side upper chamber is called as the left atrium and the left side lower chamber is called as the left ventricle. So, the valve, here there is a valve, the valve in between the right atrium and the right ventricle is called as the tricuspid valve. And likewise, the valve in between the left atrium and the left ventricle is called as the mitral valve. There is a valve situated in between the right ventricle and the pulmonary artery. So it is called as the semilunar valves or else the pulmonary valves. The valve situated in between the left ventricle and the aorta is called as the semilunar valve and also it's called as the aortic valve. Here you all can see that there's a blood vessel which is connected to the left atrium. So it is called as the superior one, it's called as the superior vena cava, and the inferior one, it's called as the inferior vena cava. And the blood vessels which is connected towards the right ventricle is called as the pulmonary artery. Here is the pulmonary artery, and it's divided into two branches as right pulmonary and the left pulmonary artery. Further, the aorta is the blood vessel which is connected towards the left ventricle, which helps to pump the blood to all over the body. Let's study about the physiology of the heart. It means how the heart is doing its function. In here, the right atrium, it receives the deoxygenated blood from the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava. Here, the superior vena cava drains the deoxygenated blood from the organs which lies above the heart. It means mostly from your head, neck, and from your arms. In the inferior vena cava, it drains the deoxygenated blood from the organs which are lies below to your heart. So they are mostly the organs which are situated in your pelvic cavity, in the abdominal area, and also from your lower limbs. It means from your legs. So all this deoxygenated blood coming from the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava enters towards the right atrium. Now the blood pressure within the right atrium is high. So as a result of that, the valve in between the right atrium and right ventricle, we called as tricuspid valve, it opens. Then the blood flows from the right atrium into the left atrium through the tricuspid valve. Now the blood pressure within the right ventricle is high. Therefore, these semilunar valves, it means the pulmonary valves which connect the right ventricles with the pulmonary artery opens and blood flows through this pulmonary artery. Then there are two pulmonary arteries, right pulmonary artery, and this is the left pulmonary artery. Then this blood goes towards the lung. Within the lungs, there's a small minute structure which we are called as the functional and the structural unit of the respiratory system. That is the alveoli. So within this alveoli, this deoxygenated blood converts into oxygenated blood. It means the blood is going to purify within this alveoli. So it means that the carbon dioxide is released and oxygen is absorbed into the blood vessel. Now this oxygenated blood flows into the left atrium. Left atrium through the pulmonary veins. There are 4 pulmonary veins are connecting towards the left atrium. Now the blood pressure of the left atrium is high. So as a result of that, there's a valve in between the left atrium and the left ventricle. We are called in this valve as the mitral valve. Now this oxygenated blood is flowing through the mitral valve into the aortic valve, into the left atrium through this mitral valve. Now, the blood pressure of the left ventricle is very high, and also the thickness of the left ventricle is higher than that of the thickness in the right ventricle. Do you know what's the reason? Because to pump the oxygenated blood from the left ventricle through the aorta to all over the body. So in this manner, the blood circulation of the body is taking place. Now we have already discussed about the anatomy and the physiology of our heart. In this blood circulation, there are mainly two types. That's the pulmonary circulation and the systemic circulation. So, what's the pulmonary circulation? It is a part of our cardiovascular system responsible for the carrying of deoxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs and returning the oxygenated blood back to the heart. This process is allowed for the gaseous exchange where the carbon dioxide is removed and the oxygen is absorbed. Let's see what's the steps of the pulmonary circulation. So, the deoxygenated blood from the body receives to the right atrium from the superior and the inferior vena cava. Here you all can see that deoxygenated blood is receiving from the superior and the inferior vena cava to the right atrium. Then the deoxygenated blood enters into the right ventricle via the tricuspid valve. So as a result of that, it increasing the blood pressure of the right ventricle and contract and pumps the blood into the pulmonary artery through the pulmonary valves. Then the gaseous exchange occur in the lungs. Then the newly oxygenated blood flows into the left ventricle through the pulmonary circulation. Here the blood purification occur from the pulmonary veins. The newly oxygenated blood comes into the left atrium. So, up to now, this is called as the pulmonary circulation. Then let's discuss about what is the systemic circulation. Systemic circulation is the part of the cardiovascular system responsible for carrying the oxygenated blood from the heart to the body's tissues and returning the deoxygenated blood back to the heart. So in here, the left ventricle pumps the oxygenated blood into the aorta through the valves. Then the aorta branches into small arteries, arterioles, and capillaries and deliver the oxygen and nutrition to all the tissues and organs. In the capillaries, the oxygen and the nutrient diffuses in the cells while the carbon dioxide and waste products enter into the blood. Then these capillaries merge into the venules from veins. The superior vena cava and inferior vena cava collects the deoxygenated blood and once again enters towards the right atrium. So in this manner, the systemic circulation occurs. Now let's discuss about the function of the human heart. Mainly the human heart do the pumping of the blood and transport the oxygen and nutrients and also removing of the waste products. Further, the maintaining of the blood pressure, circulating the hormones and also regulation of the temperature is done. Now, let's study about the conductive system of the heart. It refers to a specialized group of cells responsible for initiating and coordinating the electrical signals that regulates the heartbeat. This conductive system ensures that the heart muscles contract in a synchronized manner, allowing the efficient pumping of the blood throughout the body. Now, let's see what are the components of the conductive system. So, SA node, it's called as the sinoatrial node. AB node, atrioventricular node. Then the bundle of the His. Then right and left bundle branches. Fifth one is the Purkinje fibers. Now let's study about the SA node or the sinoatrial node. It's found in the right atrium near the superior vena cava. The function of the SA node is it acts as a pacemaker of the heart, initiating each heartbeat by generating electrical impulses. So these impulses spread across the both atria and causing them to contract and push the blood into the ventricles. It takes approximately 50 milliseconds for the electrical impulses to travel from the SA node to AV node. Then there is an internodal pathway. Here you can see the internodal pathway. The function of the internodal pathway is spreading of the impulses from SA node throughout the atria. Then there is a Bachman bundle. The Bachman bund. It is an interatrial band that conducts the impulses directly from the right atrium to the left atrium. Then the atrioventricular node, it is situated in the bottom of the right atrium above the ventricle. The function of the AV node is it serves as a gateway between the atria and the ventricles, delaying the electrical impulses slightly before transmitting them. This delay allows the atria to fully contract before ventricular contraction begins and ensuring efficient. Then there is a bundle of His. Bundle of His extend from the AV node down to the interventricular septum. The function of the bundle of His is it transmits the electrical impulses from the AV nodes to the ventricles of the heart. Then there is the right bundle branch and the left bundle branch. These branches originating from the bundle of the His and extending to the respective right ventricles and to the left ventricles. The function of the right and left bundle branches is to carry the electrical impulses to the ventricles and facilitating synchronized ventricular contraction. So these both bundle branches descend and reach the apex of the heart. Here's the apex of the heart where they connect with the Purkinje fibers, and passage takes approximate 25 milliseconds. Then the Purkinje fibers, these are the Purkinje fibers, these are spreading throughout the ventricles and spread the impulses to the myocardial contractile cells in the ventricles. The function of the Purkinje fibers are transmit the electrical impulses rapidly to the myocardium of the ventricles and ensuring the coordination and efficient ventricular contraction. The electrical impulses reaches all the ventricle muscle cells within the 75 milliseconds. Now, there are some MCQs regarding the human heart. Let's try for that. The first question is, what's the primary function of the human heart? Pumping of blood, digesting foods, filtering the toxins, producing hormones. The correct answer is A, pumping of blood. The primary function of the human heart is to pump the blood throughout the body by delivering the oxygen and nutrients to the cells and removing waste products. The heart is composed of how many chambers is the second question. The answer is C. There are four chambers in the human heart, including two atria and two ventricles. The third question, which blood vessel carry the oxygenated blood away from the heart? A, veins, B. Arteries, C. Capillaries, D. Venules. The correct answer is arteries. The arteries carry the oxygenated blood away from the heart to various parts of the body. The fourth question is, which chamber of the heart receives the deoxygenated blood from the body? A. Left ventricle, B. Right ventricle, C. Right atrium, D. Left atrium. The correct answer is C. Right atrium. The right atrium receives deoxygenated blood from the body and pumps it to the right ventricle for pulmonary circulation. The fifth question is, what's the name of the valve between the right atrium and right ventricle? A. Mitral valve, B. Tricuspid valve, C. Aortic valve, D. Pulmonary valve. The correct answer is B. Tricuspid valve. The tricuspid valve is located in between the right atrium and the right ventricle. Our sixth question is, which blood vessel return oxygenated blood to the heart from the lungs? A. Pulmonary arteries, B. Pulmonary veins, C. Aorta, D. Coronary arteries. The answer is B. Pulmonary veins. Pulmonary veins carry oxygenated blood from the lungs to the left atrium of the heart. Our seventh question is, what's the pacemaker of the heart? Atrioventricular node, B. Bundle of His, C. Sinoatrial node, D. Purkinje fibers. The correct answer is A. SA node. The SA node is the natural pacemaker of the heart, which initiates the electrical impulses that regulates the heartbeat. Eighth question, which of the following is not a component of the heart's conductive system? A. Atrioventricular node, B. Bundle of His, C. Purkinje fibers, D. Thymus. The correct answer is D. Thymus. The thymus gland is not a part of the heart's conduction system. It's an organ of the immune system. Ninth question. What's the function of the AV node in the cardiac conduction? A. Initiates the heartbeat. B. Delays the impulses to allow the atrial contraction. C. Directly stimulates the ventricular contraction. D. Stop electrical conduction. The correct answer is B. AV node delays the impulses to allow the atrial contraction. 10. What's the role of Purkinje fibers in the heart conduction? A. Initiate electrical impulses. B. Slow down the conduction speed. C. Rapidly transmit impulses to the ventricles. D. Prevent the backflow of the blood. The correct answer is C. Rapidly transmit impulses to the ventricles. Thank you for watching.